Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a full breakdown of the 2020 thriller Fatal Affair, starring Nia Long, Omar Epps, and Stephen Bishop. This movie might seem like a typical obsessive lover story, but there's much more going on beneath the surface. So, grab some popcorn, sit back, and let's break down this intense psychological thriller. If you haven't watched the film yet, don't worry, because we're going to discuss the entire plot, character motivations, and of course, some of the twists that keep you on the edge of your seat. But before we jump in, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content like this. Let's get started. The movie begins by introducing Ellie, played by Nia Long, who seems to have it all. She's a successful attorney, happily married to her husband Marcus, and enjoying a beautiful, peaceful life. But as we quickly learn, not everything is as perfect as it seems. Ellie works in a high-stress job, and it's clear that she is dealing with some personal issues, especially with Marcus. They've been having some relationship problems, which adds an interesting layer of tension right from the start. We get the sense that Ellie is looking for an emotional escape. And this is where her past comes back to haunt her. Enter David, played by Omar Epps, an old college friend of Ellie's. They meet by chance at a bar, and David, despite being a bit overzealous, quickly reconnects with her. The chemistry between them is palpable, and Ellie, feeling disconnected from her husband, starts to remember the passion of her younger years. Now, here's the thing, at first, this reunion feels innocent. It's a simple catch-up, a way for Ellie to unwind from the pressures of her life. But David's behavior begins to shift. He's flirtatious, persistent, and there's an obvious attraction between him and Ellie. As the story progresses, David becomes increasingly obsessed with Ellie. He starts sending her texts, showing up at her office uninvited, and even visiting her house. Ellie, who initially enjoyed the attention, starts to feel uncomfortable, especially since she's still married to Marcus. Ellie's growing discomfort with David is something we can all relate to. At first, she tries to brush it off, but the more David pushes, the more she realizes how dangerous his behavior has become. Meanwhile, Ellie's own relationship with Marcus continues to suffer. They have an important conversation about their marriage, but the cracks are already showing. The marriage, while still intact, is clearly under strain. This is important because Ellie's relationship with David becomes a sort of emotional escape. However, David's obsession takes a darker turn, and this is where the tension really starts to build. David's obsession reaches new heights when he starts showing up at Ellie's house uninvited. He goes as far as to threaten her when she tries to distance herself. It's at this point that Ellie realizes just how far gone David is, and things take a dangerous turn. Now, this is where things get complicated. Marcus, Ellie's husband, starts to suspect that something's not right. He begins to notice the strange behavior from David and starts to question Ellie's loyalty. What we have here is a ticking time bomb, with David growing more unstable by the minute, and Marcus increasingly paranoid. Ellie finally confronts David, and this is where we get one of the movie's most intense scenes. David, who has now completely crossed the line, refuses to let go. He becomes violent, leading to a dangerous altercation. This final showdown between Ellie and David is filled with suspense and showcases just how far David has fallen into obsession. After the confrontation, Ellie and Marcus's relationship reaches a boiling point. Ellie is emotionally scarred from everything she went through, and Marcus is left grappling with his own feelings of betrayal and doubt. The couple's future hangs in the balance, and it's unclear whether they'll be able to recover from the trauma they both endured. At the very end, the movie leaves us with a chilling conclusion. Ellie has managed to escape David's clutches, but the emotional and psychological toll of everything that happened is something she will carry for the rest of her life. And that lingering question, can she and Marcus truly heal from this? Well, that's something we're left to wonder. So, After all that, Fatal Affair is a thriller that explores themes of obsession, trust, and the consequences of letting emotional voids lead to dangerous decisions. It's a story about boundaries, how fragile they can be and how far someone can go when those boundaries are crossed. Let me know what you think. Did you enjoy the movie? Were there any moments that stood out to you, or did you predict the twists? Let's talk about it in the comments below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed this deep dive. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.